Welcome to Leo for Leos. This is a channel featuring intuitive tarot readings for the astrological sign of Leos, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm a Leo as well, so that's why the channel is called Leo for Leos. Cross watchers and fellow readers are welcome. However, I do want to let you know that I read the cards as I see them and not always the way it's traditionally done. So let's get started. I am using the Smith-Waite Tarot deck, the Centennial Edition. Okay. And excuse the red paint. It's not blood, but this is red paint. I was doing a craft earlier. But this reading is for the month of May in the year 2020. May. May 2020. It's going to be for the entire month. And I'm going to pull 6 cards. For Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising. This card. Oh boy. That's more than 6 cards. This one hit the floor first. They were upside down, so we'll keep with the same pattern. Oh wow, this is a lot more than I expected. Wow, this is a lot of cards, all right? Okay. I was only supposed to pull 6, and instead the universe was like, nope, you need more than 6. Okay. All right, so we start off with the card that we always get, or we've always been getting for the last few, I would say last 10 readings, has just been the 5 of Pentacles, just really, really enforcing this kind of, I wouldn't say I'm thinking impoverished, but it is really feeling like a very scared is the word I want to use. Afraid of what is going to happen. Afraid of what might happen. This fear. This fear that's happening. This fear that's happening. Okay? So, the Five of Pentacles is really talking about this fear that's happening and how it's really evermost on your mind. It's not going away, it's staying. There's a lot of fear. And there's good reason. There's good reason for it to be there. You're not alone. A lot of people are in this fear, psychological fear zone as well. So you're not alone. You're not alone in this whole process, which is kind of comforting, but still not comforting enough to stop the cycle of looking at what you don't have. I mean, I think for you've done a lot of looking at things in a very positive perspective as much as possible, but reality looks really grim. Okay, so this is more like looking at reality and seeing a lot of the bad in the things that are there. It's not seeing the good that could be in reality. And it doesn't mean, because you're looking at that particular, the negative aspects of reality, doesn't mean that there is no good. It's just that is what you're focusing on. And it's not your fault, because everybody's focusing on that. And we're all kind of dealing with extraordinary circumstances. So I want to get just one more card, if I could, to talk about that. Just a little bit. I don't like to stay on stuff like this for too long, but let's just see if there is something. Okay, so this feeling of that you have is leading you to make decisions. And these decisions are pretty big decisions. They may be decisions that stick with you for the next 2 years. And they make a huge impact on your life. Some of the decisions that you're kind of pushed into making. And it's not that you're pushed into making them as much as you decide that's the right course of action to go. Okay? This has been keeping you up nights. It's been keeping you up nights. It's been keeping you stressed and depressed. And no matter like what you're facing, how happy you are to everybody around you, how much in front of people you're being very positive, at night or when people, you close the door to the bathroom, you cry. Okay, you cry. You are suffering privately. I see a lot of private suffering. But this leads you towards making a decision. And the decision isn't an easy one. And you're using your intuition, what you think will be the right outcome for you. What you think is going to be the right outcome for you. Now let's move on to the Temperance, which is really trying to find the right balance in this new environment, this new world that's happening. Trying to find the balance between those emotions of feeling very, very lost And then having emotions that feel very uplifting. Like feeling like having a balance of emotions. There's water here, so it's telling me emotionally this is balancing out emotions. Okay? There's a possibility for walking down the path of enlightenment. Walking down this path to a knowledge or something very rewarding. It's like the gold at the end of the rainbow. It's like the gold at the end of the rainbow. But you have to walk down this path from the emotions. So you have to kind of walk away from your emotions. And find balance between your emotions. And I think you're doing it. You're mostly doing that. You're mostly like holding it all strong for everyone and inspiring and giving your best face forward, while at the same time you have your private moments where you're definitely like letting the tears fall, and that is so necessary, because if you don't, you're not human. Okay, you have to get those out. If you don't get out the tears, eventually it'll come out in being snappy to someone you care about. It'll come out in being too dogmatic. It'll come out in being in some other form. It will reveal itself. So letting the tears flow actually is a good healing mechanism that humans have naturally, and let that happen. Be human, because that's what you are. It's going to be a fight to do that. It's going to be a challenge. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be challenging. If you look at this guy's face, he's stressed out. He's stressed out. He is stressed out. So May is looking like it starts off hard. Coming out of April, it starts off savage, and you're fighting for survival. You're balancing your emotions. You're doing a lot of balancing. This is a great confirmation this is a great confirmation for the first 10 card that we had. This is a great confirmation for the Temperance card. Just that balancing, like finding balance, finding your footing so you can stand up tall while dealing with emotions that are up and down. And looking at the losses, looking at the financial loss, looking at the personal losses that you have. Very deep losses. But there's still a determination to win at all cost. Win at all cost. Still a determination. Leos are not giving up. They're not giving up. One more card for this one. I'm going to lose my whole deck on this reading. All right. Love it. See, I'm glad I did that one last one. Leos are on the right path again. Ace of Pentacles. Okay? We got a lot of cards to choose from in the deck, and this one came up. The Ace of Pentacles. You're on the right path to glory. You're on the right path. No matter what happens and how dark things get, you are on the right path. All right? It's encouraging. Now we're going to move on to the World card. Stepping into something new. This decision that you had to make really is influencing this new thing that you're stepping into. And this may be a new train of thought, a new way that you process something. There's a new way that you conduct your things. Everything is changing. You may have had ideas about the changes you wanted to make in April, but now it's like, yep, we gotta do this. It's more like you're getting confirmations and signs from the universe that change is needed, and you must begin a new way of approaching things, whether it be a business or a home. Things need to be handled in a different format from now on. Okay? These are changes that are going to stick. They're going to stick for a long time. And I'm sensing 2 years is the year mark that I'm feeling 2 years. And I think that's pretty clear for us. Let's move on to the Lovers. The Lovers is basically about relationships that you're having with people that are either in your household, or people that you are close to, that you've been talking on the phone with, Skyping with, communicating with, relationships that were broken that are trying to heal, that you've forgiven people, or they've forgiven you, and you're having more of a closer conversation together, or reaching a place in your life. Look at this, where you're giving of yourself more than you've ever given before, giving of your time too, because a lot of people don't understand that time is a commodity of life, and that is something to give, whether it be listening to someone. That is a wonderful way to give to people. Sometimes, and in this particular case, or this particular time period, people need to be listened to. They need someone to listen, not even add your opinion, not even say, hey, well, this is what I think you should do, but just listen. Just listen. And your response, really should be more like, tell me more. Help me to understand this more. Or just tell me more. Or what else happened? Right? This way people can really let things out and feel like you're really listening to them. No, actually listen to a person's, listen to them. Listen to the things that they have to say, and ask them to tell you more. And ask them also, how did that make them feel? How did you feel? How do you feel right now? Things that really connect to people on a personal level. It's a game changer. It's a game changer. And that might be part of the decision that you make, is to make stronger connections with people. Because I think this is teaching a lot of people a lot of lessons about isolating. Okay? This is really teaching people about isolating. Like, hey, isolating too much may be a problem. And isolating friends is not a nice thing to do. And maybe I need to change all that. This is very interesting times, to say the least. And this is something you're going to work on. There may be several people that you may need to have conversations with to enhance your relationships with them, to rebuild your stockpile of connections of people who really care about you and you care about them. That in this kind of a time period, if it ever were to happen again, you'd want more connections with people, not less. Confirmation. Connecting with others, reaching out to others, having others reach out to you. This is part of the magic of May. If there's anything to come about May, that is like one of the most incredible parts of it is the connection to other people and building it, reconnecting. This is exciting to me. I think it's really exciting. Let's move on to the victory card here, the Six of Wands. And yes, there will be some kind of victory, or just even the idea of going through this emotional process of feeling the way you feel and then engaging with others and sharing stories may bring about this victory. Look at this. The Six of Cups, another 6 card, where it might be like it may be like May 6th or May 16th, that you may be connecting with somebody, or the 26th, you may be connecting with someone who is from your past and just reminiscing about, like, hey, remember, when we were in school together and Johnny stuck some gum in my hair and you stayed with me until the end of school to pick out the gum out of my hair in the bathroom. Like, just rekindling old relationships, thinking about good times, about the good times, about your freedoms, times when you got together with friends and enjoyed their company. Okay? Definitely about relationships. The good old days, if there were any. Interesting. And you know what, even though with all of this connection that you're having, there's this dissatisfaction, something that you want now that you can't get your hands on, and maybe it's something lost, a relationship that you can't rekindle, and that could be inspiring all this, like, because of not being able to communicate or talk to someone or have the closeness that you want with someone you care about, that is inspiring you to connect with others more. Okay? And it's inspiring a need for self-satisfaction, to have that for yourself. Like, okay, I can't have the relationship from the past that meant so much to me. I can't talk to that person, or I can't communicate, or the chance is gone. But I do have other people that I can talk to, and they can, help me. It will be self-satisfying for me to talk to them. It will be self-satisfying for me to connect with them and build new relationships. And there's a lot of communication. Calls, conferences, Skypes, FaceTime, people trying to reach each other and talk to each other and see each other in a time of social distancing. Text messages, lots of DMs, that kind of thing. Just checking up on you. How are you doing? I just want one more card for this. And the offering, it looks like it's other people offering something, offering a friendship offer. It's a friendship offer, like offering, hey, when this all blows over, let's get together and have a reunion. Let's get together and have lunch. Let's come over to my house when this is all over and we'll do something fun together. There's a romantic notion about something that you know, a friend would like to share with you. Like, and it's not just that, even if it could be like, hey, why don't we do a project together? I would love to do a project together with you. Collaborating, some sort of romantic gesture. And when I say romantic, it's not sexually romantic, or it's not it's not an intimate relationship. It's more like a lofty idea, a fun pastime, a social connection. Okay, a social offering. So let's move on to the Seven of Cups, which is really talking about a great deal of things that may be that a great deal of opportunities, or a great deal of things that you're thinking about possibly doing in the future. Okay, it's really imagining everything that you want to do. I mean, writing down the craziest bucket list that you can possibly do, like, and maybe it's even things that you can't do anymore, or you feel like you can't do anymore, or that you missed the opportunity to do. You're looking at all of these things now, and you're wanting them. This is really talking about desire. Ooh, and you're manifesting them. You're trying to manifest them too. Okay, see, this is what I'm talking about, Leos. Leos don't give up. This is beautiful. It means that you haven't given up on that dream of all those dreams that you have. You haven't given up on traveling, and you haven't given up on the projects that you want to do and the people you want to meet. You haven't given up, and this is so powerful. You know, a lot of people aren't going to make it through this time psychologically. They're going to be too depressed to make it. But there are Leos out there that are on the right track mentally, trying to balance things out, trying to let out the tears when they need to let out the tears, and bring on the optimism when they need to bring it on, but they still have hope for the future. This is incredible. Incredible. Love that. Love that. And through all of this, like, you get this epiphany. You get epiphanies from trying to manifest, like thinking, like, how am I going to get this done? How am I going to do this? And you get ideas, a whole bunch of them, a whole bunch of good ideas. And from being in a difficult situation, comes epiphanies and incredible ideas. Incredible ideas. Look at this. the Independence card, working towards a happier day where you're independent on your own and you have everything at your fingertips. You're mastering everything. You know, the Nine of Pentacles masters the wild beast. I love it. Okay, next card. Let's go on to the Devil. Now, the Devil's really talking about the things that chain you to the ideas that you have, the train of thought that keeps you bound to the things you hate doing and you feel like you still have to do them. Does that make sense? It's like the fear of losing a house, right? The fear of losing your house that keeps you working at the job that you hate. This is an example. Or staying in a relationship with someone just to keep the kids in a happy home. That's what this is about. It's about doing something you absolutely at the core of yourself don't want to keep doing, but you have to do it because it's the one, it's stabilizing something that you feel like you need to keep stable. Let's dig deeper into this. What area of life are we talking about here? It's ruling your decisions, like all your decisions. Every decision you have is ruled by this tether, this thing that tethers you. It could be keeping, you know, a roof over your head. It could be that. It could be like fears of the future. Fears of the future could be a tether. Let's see. I mean, this is every decision you make is ruled by that. It's not about what you want in your world. It's about what you know, about serving something else. Knight of Swords. There's a desire to rush into your new ideas. I always love rushing into new ideas. Get her done. Because you're desperate to get to this better place in life, to get out of this mucky place. You're trying to leave where you're at to get to a better place. So there's a feeling of wanting, like, hurry up, let's hurry up and get there. I've got these ideas, let's do them. Let's move on because I think this card is begging me to come next. This is about getting to work and using your skills and mastery to create something incredibly lasting. And possibly even collaborating with people on it, but getting it done no less. Using your expertise, the things that you know how to do very well. Building something that will last. I said that. Building a legacy, something that will keep your legacy going. This is not the end for Leos. Not this day. Not today. Not today. Leos are surviving. And there may be a bit of collaboration on this. There may be like you and like a couple other people working together on this idea to kind of help get through this together. It may actually also be the friendship connection that you may be making extra strides to strengthen in May. Assessing what you have. being extremely careful with your money, right? Being very, 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 very careful with your money. Any kind of investments or anything like that, just very, very tight with the money. And Judgment, leaving it up to fate for the right thing to prevail. Allowing the new, whatever is new to actually happen. To allow divine entities come in and take over at the point. You've done everything you can. You've worked hard as you could on it, and you've put in as much effort as you possibly can. And now you have to leave it to the divine to take care of it. Now we're going to move on to the Eight of Cups, which is again walking away from something, an idea or a mentality to something new, and not knowing what is going to happen. See, the idea is that this is what you want to do, and this is what you're doing. This is what you're doing. There's no guarantees for you that it's going to work. No guarantees. However, you've done everything that you possibly could do. And this is the emotional toll it's taking on you. And you're walking away from that and letting it, you're raising your hands and saying, let it be what it's going to be. So there's that surrender, but there's still also a passion. Whatever it is that you can work on behind the scenes, you're working on. And then there's the clarity. Something happens. We're not sure. There's more clarity now. There's a brand new day. Brand new day of clarity and happiness. And with the clarity, clarity is always good because you know what to do at that point, right? There's always a knowledge of like, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do since I know, certain things. I know X and I know Y, and I know if we add them together, we get XY. And that is going to lead you down a road of, again, now that you know what to do, or you know the clarity, that's going to put you in action to do things. In action to actually, like, fortify the things that you know you can work on. There's certain things you can't work on because you don't know, but there's certain things you can do. And you're very aware of what those things are. And you may be reaching out to people and individuals for help, or even expanding the knowledge base of people who know about the thing that you're doing. Maybe you're even sharing your ideas, telling people, hey, this is something you can do too. And the King of Wands, Leo is back in charge. Back in charge. So whatever is happening in the world is one thing, but at some point during May, Leos will definitely have a sense of their own power again. They will be able to say, I'm back in charge of my life. At least there's always going to be a certain amount of life that we don't know about, that's uncertain. And I'm okay with that because there are certain things I know about and I can affect and I will affect. And that is the magic. I would say that's another magic moment of May. So May has two amazing magic moments, connecting with people, and rekindling friendships, and also discovering your own power, discovering your own, the domain that you rule. Okay, there, you can't rule the whole world, but you can definitely rule your world. And I'm going to end this with the moon here. I don't think I'm going to pull anything else for that, because that is a representative of the unknown. It's things we just don't know about. And it's the things that we don't know that we don't know that we don't know about. It's so infinite. And that's not really our concern. It's, if you don't know about something, that means maybe you should be concerned with it, but for now you really don't need to know about it, because you don't know about it. So just concentrate on the things you know about, the things you know to be true, the things that are real and 100% the reality for your world. And that is how Leos are going to take their power back. Let's see. We're going to dip into the Angel Answers cards and see if there are anything, there's anything that the Angel Answers will be able to tell us. Let's see. Okay. A nice summary for this reading would be nice. Looks like it just wants to hang out in chunks. Ooh. A good summary for what's happening here in May 2020. Some good advice for my Leos. Alright, this card wants to be the one. Let go. Oh, interesting. All right, this is really interesting. All right, I'm going to take a picture of it now. So there's the picture. I was just saying there's some things we just don't know about. That's the Judgment card is really saying let go as well. So let's see what it. I have a little booklet that goes with this, so I'm just going to read from the booklet. Let go. The time has come to let go of this situation. Stop focusing on how or when it will be solved, or even why it occurred. Relationships that are unhealthy or unfulfilling should be released in order to allow something better to come along. Don't worry, Source and your angels have everything under control. A key aspect to manifesting your desires is to ask for what you want and then release it to heaven. If you've drawn this card, you may be holding on too tightly to the way your dreams will unfold. Make a wish and then leave the rest to your angels. Wow! Guys, that's super powerful. And you know, that's telling me something else about the friendship angle too, is, yeah, there may be relationships you're like, you know what, that's unsalvageable. In fact, because your time is so valuable now, there are just certain people you're not willing to spend any time talking to or messing with, because you find the people who are valuable in your life need more time, that you should be spending more time with those guys instead of the ones that aren't beneficial to you. All right, so that's my reading for today. Thank you so very much for watching, supporting, and subscribing. If you haven't done so already, please consider doing this for Leo Intuitive Tarot readings, and that also supports the channel. Please be sure to hit the bell icon to be the first to know when my next video gets posted. Many blessings to you, my awesome Leos! And remember, this channel is for you and for you alone.